My attorney is working his magic in the meantime. I'm in the house, and this is a big advantage, according to him. I have also not told her that the marriage is over. She will find that out when she has served the papers, which will be coming soon. Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to do part 2 of the story I did earlier about the guy in his 40s who caught his wife red-handed cheating with her coworker. And guys, where things left off, that's where the guy, he had collected a lot of evidence, knew there was a lot of red flags with her. She stopped all interest in the sex. She started wearing a lot of makeup, taking care of her hair, working out at the gym when before she didn't do that, guarding her phone like crazy, amongst many other things, working later, all that. And he started noticing those red flags, started doing his homework, doing some digging, found out her phone records. She was making phone calls late at night when he was in bed to some number, tracked it down to some dude, and he got proof of that. And where things left off, pretty much he kicked her out of the house, and she's staying with her mom, and he's now putting up the act of going to marriage counseling. Meanwhile, he's finding out his options to kick her ass to the curb, which is exactly what he's going to do in the story, and it's definitely warranted. And this guy, in case you forgot, this guy is also, he's a former fighter, trains fighters, 6'4", 240, big freaking dude. And his wife's always been on his butt that he's not making enough money, even though she makes way more money than him and should be fine to take care of the family. So let's pick up where things left off. It says here, update number 3. I appreciate all the support that I've received through this ordeal. I'm going through a lot right now, and I wish I had more time to respond to the advice and words of encouragement passed my way. To update, my attorney friend was not able to recommend a lawyer that specializes in family law, or was able to recommend a lawyer that specializes in family law. Not only that, but supposedly this guy was also cheated on, and these cases allow him to exact revenge. This is what my friend says when he recommended this lawyer. A family law attorney who he himself was cheated on at one point in his life, so he takes all this stuff personally to get revenge on people like this. Perfect. He's going to be very flexible on his fees and generally wants to help. Maybe this is on the positive side of the ledger. Now on to the other side. My wife admitted to the affair. She told me that it started as flirting, then turned into an emotional affair, but never turned physical. Yeah, sure, honey. Absolutely believe that. Again, because she's been so honest up until this point. I saw right through that, and then she finally admitted that it turned physical. Oh, imagine that. Which coincided with the point in time when she shut down intimacy with me. I got a lot more details than I thought I could take. It was a very hot and steamy affair. To say this has really messed me up would be an understatement to the highest degree. I'm wrestling with my emotions and can't keep a thought in my head. I told my wife it would be best for her to stay with her mom for the time being and that I will take care of the kids, so they can be at home and have some stability. My attorney is working his magic in the meantime. I'm in the house, and this is a big advantage, according to him. I have also not told her that our marriage is over. She will find that out when she has served the papers, which will be coming soon. Good job, man. Strike. Strike when she's not expecting it. Now, if she had a brain, she would expect the unexpected. But she's obviously so emotional and hopeful and probably thinks this guy will take her back. She's not expecting that. But this is great. I love the fact that you can leave the house. You can go stay with your mom and dad, when a lot of guys would just leave and the kids would be there with her. I can't keep the intrusive images of my wife and this guy out of my head. I coach Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for professional and semi-professional fighters, and I'm trying to give them as much attention as I can. The physicality of my job seems to have been helpful. Obviously, I'm also putting everything into my kids. Outside of BJJ, my passion is learning about new topics. I normally read for a few hours a night to unwind, but I haven't been able to get through the paragraph without losing focus. After seeing that they were referring to me as stupid animal, I imagine all the other things they may have said. The whole thing has really gotten to me. I've always been a happy person, but the joy is just gone. This is not the guy you want to piss off. And yeah, she was referring to him as being stupid or not that smart or something from the other story. That's what he mentioned. This guy likes to read and learn about new things. Stupid people don't do that. Okay? Some of the smartest people I've ever known in my life don't even have a high school degree. It's certainly not a college degree. They're self-educated. Now, these are people that are obviously older than me and had situations in their childhood. But in my opinion, the people that are self-taught, that literally can read a book and teach themselves to do anything, those are the smartest freaking people. And it sounds like he's one of them. But because he obviously doesn't have degrees, a lot of people would dismiss him, as is his wife. Because let's be honest here, most women, saying most, are all about that status and that degree. They get involved with a guy that has multiple degrees, but up to his eyeballs in debt for those degrees, than a guy that has no debt. Maybe he works a blue-collar job, makes just as much, if not more, than the other guy, right? Anyway, it says here, on another note, the word has got out what has happened, and there have been a lot of people offering to assist in any way they can. It definitely helps to feel like I have support. A number of my friends' wives have sprung into action and said they know of beautiful women that would want to hook up with me. The last thing this guy fucking needs right now is other chicks in his life to hook up with. He's got to work this thing out with his own family, take care of his kids, take care of his job, training the fighters and all that. The last thing he needs is hooking up with other girls right now. I mean, come on here. He can do that down the road when he's healed and all that, if he wants. Including a few that know me and are very interested in my upcoming single status. I will not be dating until this is all over with, and probably not for a while after that. Good, bro. Very smart. This guy, like I said, is not stupid. But knowing that there are a lot of options is a nice feeling. I think I'll be okay. Right now, it's just all about the kids. I'll try to update at some point soon. My wife is hysterical and is pushing to stay married. I know I can't get over what she did, so staying together would be delaying the inevitable. Hysterical, huh? That's what she gets. Next update. He says, life has been chaotic, but I wanted to log back into this throwaway account and give out an update on my situation. I discovered my wife was having an affair and also found out that she thought I was stupid and a loser for not earning a high salary. We've heard that before, haven't we, guys? I filed for divorce and it should be wrapped up next month. Awesome, dude. We will have a 50-50 custody and she will be paying spousal support since she out-earns me by a large margin. That is the current legal situation. Now on to the other fallout. How sweet is that? She's paying him. And I'm going to guess he's getting the house, because that's where the kids are. He says, I am heartbroken, as are my kids. I never thought I would be a single dad, but here I am. My wife seems to be falling into some kind of depression. The guy she cheated with decided that she wasn't worth the trouble. There you go. Shocker. That's how Chad and Tyrone roll, even though this guy is married himself. From what I'm told, she has started drinking, going out with a lot of random guys that she meets online. Oh, there's a great solution to the problem. She needs that validation to make her feel better. There have been more than a handful of times where she called me and begged me to take her back so she can have her old life back. Sorry, honey, that ship has sailed. Part of me wanted that, but I have held strong. After she found out how much money she will have to pay me every month, she seems to have made her angry towards me, so I don't have to worry about her calling. Well, usually it's the guy that ends up having to pay a large amount of money every month to his ex, and he's angry about it, rightfully so. But in this situation, she is now seeing what the guys have to deal with. Again, I don't know all the ins and outs of their marriage, and no marriage is perfect, but it seems like this guy's a good guy. She brought this on herself. She made her bed, and she can lie in it. My kids don't understand. Every second they aren't with me, I feel miserable. I'm also lonely at the time. I haven't spent much time with friends and mostly just stay at home. The girl that works at a coffee shop I frequent asked about me if everything was okay, because I look sad. I guess I'm not hiding as well as I think. There are people I know that want to set me up with women they know, but I don't want to do that because I feel like I'm branded as the guy whose wife cheated on him. It has been so long, I have no idea how to date. I had a few fighters do really well on a pretty public stage, and that's been the only spark I've ever felt in a long time. I really don't know what to do next. At some point, I need to snap out of it and move on. I just haven't reached that level of motivation, though. He will. It'll take time, but he will. He's been with his wife for a long freaking time. The betrayal, the turmoil, the divorce, all that. It's going to take time, but he will get over it and he'll move on. But there's no freaking rush. I'd recommend that he try to get out with his bros, family members, and stuff like that, so he's not home alone all the time in that house with all the memories. That's the problem with the house. He's going to have all those memories. He likes to read a lot. Maybe it's time if he can, maybe a chance to travel a little bit. Have his parents or whomever, her, watch the kids, where he can do a long weekend somewhere to get out, travel, see something. Because if he likes learning, I'm sure he likes to see things. But being cooped up in that house with all the memories, that can be a problem. I did have somebody I know get into contact with the other guy's wife and show her proof that I had. I just couldn't live with nothing happening to him. I'm not allowed to go after him, so this was the next best thing. She didn't believe it at first, but then I heard about there being major marriage issues for them. As far as I know, they are together, but on the rocks. I have a lot of anger over everything. It's crazy to think that how life can be fine one minute and then completely upside down the next. Yeah, funny how that goes. One positive that has happened is that I did meet a girl through some friends that I'm interested in. I haven't asked her out or anything, though. She's stunningly beautiful, but is about 14 years my junior. Oh, that would piss off the ex-wife. I don't know that's a major issue, but that is a pretty big age gap. Given that I have been through, I think my confidence has really been dinged. I feel like she's too attractive for me. She might actually be, I suppose, but I've been thinking about her a lot. So that's been the last half year of my life. I have to say it has been the worst I've ever felt. I've always been a very happy person, but just feel dark and gloomy now. It will get better. Day by day it will get better, just a little bit. But he has to get out and do his best. He is doing the best he can, but it will get better. And that's nice. There's some chick that is interested in him and all that. And when he's ready, they'll start dating. And it would be a great bonus on top of the fact that it sounds like he stayed in the house, got the house. She's paying him spousal support, but also a lot of spousal support, which is pissing her off. And then imagine if he starts dating women that are not only better looking than his wife, but younger. And you guys out there know darn well how that just chaps the asses of women when men date younger when guys date younger women. You all know that. That is some serious revenge, because men, if we take care of ourselves and have our shit together, we age like fine wine. We get better with time. The gals, on the other hand, well, not so much. There are a few exceptions that look good for their age, but it's not the same compared to the guys. Now for the final update here, and it apparently had been a while since he did this. He says here, I haven't been on Reddit for a very long time. I logged in and saw that there was some people asking about updates in my situation. So I thought I would let everybody know that I'm doing well. And he goes into this whole thing about, what happened, brief summary. And he says here, after he divorced her, I was with her for about 15 years in total. To say my new life has been an adjustment and would be an understatement. I do have moments where I feel a sense of sadness or loss, but those are fleeting. For the most part, I feel great. Awesome, he's getting better. My kids are doing well, and they are with me a lot. One of the things that happened after the divorce was my wife had to take in more accounts at work to pay for her new single life situation, as well as spousal support to me. She earned a lot more than me. When the pandemic hit, I had a very flexible schedule, so I was able to keep the kids with me and do homeschooling. Since my job involved physical contact with other people, the pandemic has slowed that down. Not a lot of opportunities for my guys right now. So in a way, it has been like I'm a stay-at-home dad. Yeah, he's a stay-at-home dad, because this is obviously written during, I guess, the peak of the pandemic. Couldn't go to work, couldn't train people, like I couldn't train people as a personal trainer in 2020 during that winter and spring. But alas, he gets the check every month from his ex-wife that takes care of everything. No problem there. Meanwhile, she has to take on extra accounts to pay for it. I took some time to myself after the whole ordeal. The younger girl I was interested in took a long assignment with her company in Europe. We stayed in touch through technology. After her assignment ended, she came back and we've been together ever since. Hey, how about that? And when he was ready, started dating, and she's younger. She loves me and my kids. She's an extremely compassionate and considerate person. Before we were introduced, I was told there was an amazing woman that resembled Wonder Woman and was the nicest person you could ever meet. That was too good to be true, but she's absolutely the real deal. I think there will probably be some next steps in our relationship coming soon. Take your time, amigo. After what you went through, do not go rushing into a serious commitment. After all, I do not want this guy to get burned down. Sure, this girl could be the greatest girl ever walk the face of the earth, but still, you don't rush into anything. And if he's not going to do that for him, do it. Take your time for your kids. Just him dating her and all that, he'll have a good time with her, no rush, and he'll be making his ex-wife freaking crazy because she'll always be wondering, is he going to marry her? And the more they're just dating, she has to wonder these things. But I sure as hell wouldn't get married after what he'd been through, but how our society's condition is what it is. But at the very least, he should take his time. And I'm glad he's feeling better, moving on, and he gets to hook up with some chick in her 20s who's good to him and the kids. Things for my ex have not really worked out. Aw, what a shame. She started drinking and hooking up with random guys she met online. Having to take more accounts has taken a toll on her. Just in the last few years, she looks like she's aged 15 years. She was always pretty, but the last time I saw her, she looked ragged, like her life force was depleted. A weird thing to say, but that's what it looked like. Her best friend told me that she's miserable and hard to be around. I don't think I will ever understand how a person that is seemingly happy and in control of her life can spiral into such a dark place. Because obviously she wasn't that happy. And a happy person doesn't need the constant bombardment of validation from other people, other dudes and drinking and all that to make yourself feel better. You're actually happy. So obviously she wasn't. But it's not his problem anymore. But let me say this. She is the mother of his kids. Even though that he would probably get a good laugh of watching her implode, she's still the kid's mom. He loves the kids. He doesn't want them to be impacted by that. And she gets them half the time. So she can't go down too far down the drain. Although that would mean he potentially could have the kids full time. But then again, it is their mother. My ex's friend did also tell me that she never thought I would leave her after the affair. See? Right there. She thought she could get away with it. He'd take her back. No harm, no foul. Wrong. She misjudged this guy. I think she felt a sense of control over me because of her high income. So the affair had consequences that she didn't anticipate. I do hope she finds peace for my kids' sake. Yeah, only for your kids' sake. Other than some challenges due to the pandemic, things are great, and I'm so glad I immediately ended my first marriage rather than dragging it out. I knew I was making a difficult decision, but that it was the right thing to do. Then I just started grinding along. I have no problem inching a little forward every day, knowing eventually I will get through it. If you're in a situation, you need to think about things the long term. You might feel devastated at first, then sad, then depressed, then hopeless. But no matter what, you push ahead, work out hard every day too. Yes. Amen, brother. The key is to try to do one little thing every day that improves you or adds to your skill set. Not self-help stuff, but real skills. I got into making short films of the guys I train and learned about videography and editing, which has been a fun hobby. I read more books to learn about all sorts of things. I just try to do something every day. Small things add up over time. You just need to make sure you're putting in the work and let yourself be patient. So that, gentlemen, is the end of his story. And that is a nice one to hear, that a guy that was burned like this comes out on top. Now, we could say he didn't come out on top after all the shit he had to go through, but he didn't let it crumble him. He didn't stay with her and be that guy that stayed with his wife even though she was cheating, and things got worse. Right down there, we're done. Handled like a boss, made out like a bandit in the divorce, and he's doing great, and he's nailing some young chick in her 20s. I really hope he doesn't rush too quickly into things, but you never know. But he was right about that. Take it day by day, one little thing to improve yourself, all that. This is why I preach, and I'm actually going to say that word preach, the self-improvement, both on this channel and my other channel, when things always self-improvement, but especially when a guy is down. Because when he is working hard, improving himself, making progress, even if it's a little progress every day, he feels better. He feels like he's moving forward, and that can really help a guy move past some really dark times. Because we all have been through dark times, and we're all going to go through dark times in our lives. But if you let it destroy you, they win. It wins. Somebody wins. But if you move past that and push yourself and work hard and know there's a light at the end of the tunnel, you're going to be all right. So, great story here. I like to hear when a guy goes through hell and comes out on top. And as for his ex, she got what she deserved. And I hope those kids are okay. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below what you think about this. And guys, like I always say, if you got a great story you'd like to share, by all means, email to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time to get through, and I definitely will down the road. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.